A location for training?
Every day, twice a day, it gets very tiring. And in between, I just sleep and eat. I don't do anything else. So when I can rest and chill at the pool, go at the beach, that's the best part.
Some visitors enjoy their Sundays off, exploring and relaxing at nearby beaches. But for many, the coast is still a painful reminder of the utter devastation felt on Boxing Day 2004.
And I could see the destruction, the boats were on the road and everything was wet, but I still had no notion of how big it was. I just thought it was a local rogue wave or something. On the side of the road, people just covered with sheets.
On top to each other, boom, boom.
They ran out.
They put on the truck, and they put on some.
They ran out of places to put them in coffins and stuff. They didn't have, so they just put sheets or whatever they could to cover. And Tuk said to me, the smell, it was horrible, horrible. And for many years, Khao Lak just stayed in a sort of a pause.
Yes, quiet.
And then when we started this gym, that's when sort of Khao Lak started to come back. And people started to reinvest. Some people lost everything. Their families, their businesses, everything. So of course it gave people pause. And then as time goes by, people start to trust again, to invest again.
Mm-hmm. After their risky development venture already paved the way for investment in Khao Lak, Deanna and Tuk went one step further and invested in its people. The couple allocated a portion of profits to support a number of local fighters, providing them with accommodation and covering the cost of living. This opportunity has pushed two 19-year-old boys in particular right into the professional arena.
I know them as their boxing names because that's how I've always known them. Tepuarit means power of the sea or something. It has something to do with the sea, the ocean. And Matsing, top Matsing, means like a lion. Acting like a lion, roaring like a lion, speaking like a lion, And he does fight quite like a lion, like a bull almost. Whereas Tepuarit is more shy, But so I know them by their boxing names, not by their nicknames.
Both hailing from very modest backgrounds, these fighters have climbed their way up the ranks for years and are now training for the biggest fights of their lives. Tepuarit is set to fight in Bangkok in just a few days for a televised matchup with a rival fighter, right before his friend Top takes to the ring as the main event at a stadium in Phuket. If they play their cards right, there's hope they may soon join the gym's elite list of champions.
20 kilometers per day. They run half a marathon a day to supplement their training. It's not their training, it's just, part of it. And then they do 2 hours in the morning of Muay Thai, 2 hours in the afternoon of Muay Thai, and then strength and fitness. It's like every day. And then for a fight right now, after all these years of training, Teporit is making $500-600 per fight, maybe $700, but that's already after many years of training. Somebody who's been training many years and reaches a certain level, you'd think they'd be making in the thousands, right? It's like an amateur sport almost, like you just do it for the love of it. You don't do it for the money. There's not a lot of money in Muay Thai. But they love it, and we like to give them a future, and hopefully they can make a life of it.
After their run, the boys sit down for breakfast with Diana, but their strict diet and weight requirements allow them nothing more than a light snack.
And how much you have to weigh for your fight? 54. He still has 4 kilos to lose, so he can't eat too much. And then, and today is Thursday, and he's fighting on Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, so he has exactly 3 days to lose 4 kilos. And you notice they're not fat, so where do they lose it from? It's mostly water. So that's why boxing, some people argue it's not very healthy because they have to go up and down a lot in weight. But it's the same thing in Western boxing. Yeah, it's similar. And Huadeng takes care of them. He lives with them. And his girlfriend is in Bangkok. So every time we go to the fights, he can see his girlfriend. And his girlfriend named Pooh, which means crab. She's his little crab.
Unlike Dang, Teporit and Top are not allowed to have girlfriends at the camp, as they're too much of a distraction. The life of a serious fighter can be very lonely here, following a strict schedule in the already isolated location of Khao Lak. However, not only have they all become surrogate brothers, Tuk and Diana have welcomed them into their family with open arms. Today, the fighters will attend the Muslim New Year's service with Tuk and his relatives. Although the fighters still can't eat much, they stay to sit in on the traditional lunch and spend time with Tuk's relatives before they need to return for more training.
Okay, now we done. We go back soon. Yep.
Bye bye boss.
Okay,
Bye bye
bye.
boss. Bye bye.
เฮ้ยได้เลยไหม
As their fights are fast approaching, Teporit and Top wear black sauna suits during most of training to superheat their bodies and sweat more aggressively. Already exhausted, the pair moves on to practice a common Muay Thai situation called clinching. Here, each fighter must break free from the embrace by kneeing their opponent in the ribs or throwing them to the ground. Teporit desperately needs to improve on this element, as it has always been his greatest weakness.
He's the less talent and the more willpower. You know, when he first came, Tuk said to me, I remember very well, he fought in Karon Stadium, remember?
Yes.
And I really liked him instantly because he's such a cute little boy, you know, he's so nice. And he fought, and he won his fight, but
Fall down all the time.
yes, he kept falling down, and Tuk said to me, he's like a noodle, like a spaghetti noodle, you know, like a ramen noodle.
Easy to fall down, yes.
And I said, give him a
But now,
chance, he's
4 years past.
small, yeah, 4 or
Now
5
4
years.
past.
He's really looking good now. They're like close to the airport already. Oh my god, they drive so fast.
The team is on their way to Bangkok. 4 trainers accompanying Teporit on a flight across the country for a match that will only last a matter of minutes. There's undoubtedly a lot of pressure for the young man to bring home a win. Well aware of the importance of this fight, Teporit wastes no time returning to training. He runs and skips until his sauna suit is saturated. Dang collects the sweat, and he repeats until he gets closer and closer to his target weight.
4 kiloครับ Today like he have to lose like 4 kilo. But now he lose only like 3 kilo. And they have 1 more kilo left for tomorrow.
Teperet has faced the same opponent twice before, and this broadcast fight marks their tiebreaker. He may be incredibly shy, but that doesn't mean Teperet isn't confident he's going to walk away the victor.
ก็ทำเต็มที่ครับ100%
Now yes he want to try or he can and he think he win 100%. Yes.
With only 1 day left, the strain is visible as his body reaches breaking point after a quick run without sufficient food or water. At this point, there's the risk of just wasting energy, so there's nothing he can do but call it a day and get a good night's rest. The team has a very early start tomorrow. It's only 30 minutes until weigh-in, and the team have realised Teperet is still too heavy to make a weight, and he may face a severe handicap or penalty if he fails to do so. They find some space in the shopping centre, and he reverts to the usual routine.
Got hangover about 0.8. Normally he have to weigh in 119. And then now I have to lose 0.8. He over the weight a little bit, not much. I think take time running about like maybe 10 minutes to make sweat, come out. Then he passed the weight.
Teperet steps onto the scales naked, as all fighters do, and hopes he hasn't cut it too close. Reading at exactly 119.0, he wastes no time in heading back to the hotel to recover with an IV drip.
Remember, it's been a few months, I haven't done it for. I prefer the left arm. His vein is bigger. Easier for me to find the vein. So, yeah, go.
Diana may have learned how to set the IV up from watching YouTube videos, but it should do the trick. Teperet will hopefully wake up before his fight, feeling rested and replenished.
So it's gone in. I'm going to give him half a liter. Try to figure out. Hopefully that's enough. Bye. ปกติที่นี่จะไม่ได้นี่ใช่ไหมนี่ no ไม่ใช่นี่นี่โอเคได้
After weeks of preparation, it's finally here. Both fighters have to feature in a last-minute TV interview to add to their nerves, but now it's time for the showdown. Teperet steps into the ring from the red corner, but, as is tradition, both fighters must do a dance before commencing. This is an old dance called the Muay crew, which is to show thanks to the teachers or trainers for all their lessons and hard work. There's not much action to begin with. The first round is always used to test the waters and see how your opponent is reacting. So there's not going to be a clear favourite until someone moves in to do some serious damage. Teperet starts landing more hits, and it starts to look like he might take a lead in the score. But he's losing ground every time his kicks are hitting the air, which never impresses judges. In round 4, he begins to drive hard and may seal the win if he avoids any major mistakes. He holds his ground for a while, but, characteristic of his known weakness, he's tossed to the ground, which might be enough to take his lead away. As the final bell rings, it's too close to call, as both fighters are convinced they've won on points. In quite a rare decision, the judges have called it as a draw, to the noticeable silence and disappointment of the crowd. Both competitors put up a great fight, but one can't help but feel it's a hollow outcome for the sheer dedication they've shown.
I guess it goes against his nature to really be aggressive, and that's something we're trying to teach him. Not in his life, but just in the ring. You want to win, you have to be like that in the ring. Then you can be nice and peaceful and calm. But in the ring, you can't be like that. You have to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to impress the judges and the public that you deserve the win. Because it's not only a sport, it's also a show. Boxing is a show as well. Everybody understands it's a sport and it's a show. Okay, so his last fight was a draw, but I mean, he's fighting, he looks good. The promoters like him. He's got the right body type, he's got the right attitude, he's a good boy. He has a chance in this sport.
Regardless, there's no time for the Muay camp to delve into the outcome, as they need to be on the way to the airport in half an hour to head home and prepare for Top's fight in Phuket. Top is entirely confident and goes through the very same motions as Teperet. He knows that this would be a huge win for him in the camp, but isn't fazed. It's all the same for Diana, the only difference she's opted out of doing the IV herself this time, instead taking Top to a trusted medical centre.
I've been to this clinic easily 100 times. Easy. Maybe more.
Now that the drip is running and Top's ready to settle in, once again, it's just a matter of waiting. Muay French fighter Bart is in the ring while Top is preparing. He's winning very comfortably against a Brazilian boxer and takes him out by knockout, boosting morale for Top. When Top and his opponent Diesel finally get underway, the fight is intense. There's strong exchanges back and forth, no doubt why the two were billed as the main event. Top's foot eventually becomes swollen from kicking, but he's still an apparent favourite to win at this point, very well in the lead. However, in the final round, disaster strikes in the form of a stray elbow. Top's nose is broken instantly and starts bleeding profusely down his chest. He doesn't throw in the towel straight away, but it's clear the fight is over for him. Trainers try to stop the bleeding and he's immediately rushed backstage to see a doctor. Top was so close to victory only moments ago, and now he's on a table getting stitches in his face. But the nature of boxing is completely unpredictable. You'll never see Top wince or complain for a second, as Diana holds his hand and his team stand by his bedside. He knows that she has looked after him like a mother, and she'll help him to carry on to fight another day. That's why she's already organised a rematch.